So let's start with the class section 34, and please note down this section is very important for your prelims and very important for your mains and most important for your practical application if you are in litigation, or it means if you are in advocacy. So from all point of view, this section is most important section. सबसे महत्वपूर्ण, अगर ये कहिए सबसे ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट कोई सेक्शन है आईपीसी में, नंबर 1 कैटेगरी पे अगर आएगा वो, तो दैट इज सेक्शन 34. तो दिस इज द वैल्यू ऑफ सेक्शन 34. व्हाई? बिकॉज सेक्शन 34 कैन बी क्लब्ड विद ऑल द ऑफेंसेस. समझे? पढ़ेंगे हम लोग डिटेल में आज इसमें अभी, लेकिन दिस इज द इंपॉर्टेंस ऑफ सेक्शन 34. सेकेंड पॉइंट टू बी नोटेड बाय यू, नॉट ओनली यू शुड लर्न द बेरेक लैंग्वेज, because बहुत छोटा सा, this is very small section. You must thoroughly read the concerned cases. This topic cannot be understood without the case laws. If you go through the case laws, only then you can understand the topic of 34. This is the second point to be noted, because this is not possible. There are so many topics in the IPC. Even if you do the Bare Act, it will be sufficient. You can go and solve the questions. For example, if you are preparing the topic related to private defense, even if you do that Bare Act, it is sufficient. In the case of abatement, it is sufficient. Okay, even in the case of 299, 300, you can manage it, but you can never manage section 34 without the case laws. And not only this, there are leading case laws. Mehboob Shah versus Emperor, Barinder Kumar Ghosh, so many cases are there, Kripal Singh, Inder Singh. So you will have to remember the case laws with name, facts and the decisions. So this is the importance of section 34, and this is. Now I come to this language of this. What is this section 34? It says, this is the section 34. This is the Bare Act, and please highlight these words. These words will be used and these words will be explained, and every phrase of this section is important. See this: when a criminal act is done by several persons. So first important thing, the criminal act is being done by several persons. How? In furtherance of the common intention of all, and this is the most important phrase in the section 34. This is what? In furtherance of common intention of all. उन सभी के सामान्य आशय को अग्रसरित करते हुए. In furtherance, this is very important word, yellow. Furtherance. Furtherance of what? Furtherance of common intention. Common intention of what? Common intention of all. In furtherance of common intention of all. This phrase is most important phrase in section 34. Then each of such persons is liable for that act. That act means that criminal act, in the same manner as if it were done by him alone. So this is the Bare Act language. Now try to understand what is this. In हिंदी समझ लीजिए क्या है ये, कि हिंदी में सिर्फ छोटी सी बात ये कि अगर कोई आपराधिक कार्य कुछ लोगों के द्वारा किया जा रहा है, यानी कि एक से अधिक लोगों के द्वारा किया जा रहा है ना, लेकिन कैसे किया जा रहा है? उनके सामान्य आशा को अग्रसरित करते हुए किया जा रहा है. तो ऐसी स्थिति में प्रत्येक व्यक्ति को ऐसे समझा जाएगा जैसे कि वह आपराधिक कार्य उसने अकेले किया हो, एज इफ इट वर डन बाय हिम अलोन. ओके, तो दिस इज व्हाट इन हिंदी. इसको समझने की कोशिश कीजिए कि व्हाई इट इज सो. बिकॉज सेक्शन 34 basically is creating a joint liability. Basically is creating by a fiction that one person is being held liable for the act of others. You can say he is being held liable vicariously also. You are committing the crime, but because I am also participating in a way that I am also being held liable as if the whole act was committed by me. So why it is needed? The very first point regarding this is 34 is what? What is the need of section 34? Where do we apply section 34? See, what is the need of 34? Where do we apply section 34? And for that purpose, you try to understand this. Why it drafted? Because, see, sometimes crime is committed by a single person. Then there is no doubt for that. whatever his role, whatever is the consequence of his act, he can be punished for that. But difficulty arises when this is done by, when a criminal act is done by several persons. समझे नहीं समझे? Where it may be difficult to distinguish precisely the part taken by each individuals. Section 34 was meant by the framers to deal with those cases where it may be difficult to distinguish precisely the part taken by each individual. Means what? When there are several persons, who are committing the criminal act, and you are not able to distinguish कि what is the precisely was done by him and what was the effect of his part, individual part, then ultimately you will have to frame such rules, then you can be held, you can make them held liable for that. See, for example, you try to understand this. If A and B put a rope around the neck of C, यदि A और B C के गले में रस्सी बांधते हैं, है ना, and pull its opposite ends until C dies. दो लोग हैं, रस्सी खींच रहे हैं, pulling rope, both persons A and B, they are at different ends and they are pulling the rope which is tied around the neck of C. Now you see, in this case, if C dies now, if each is to be made liable for his act alone, as if he had done it himself, in case everyone will say what? The I should be held liable only for attempt to murder, because I was pulling, it means I was attempting to kill him, but he killed, C killed because B pulled it. A क्या कहेगा? A will say that I attempted to kill C, but C died because B pulled it. Had the B did not pull it, B ने अगर खींचा नहीं होता तो ये मरता ही नहीं है. मेरे खींचने से नहीं मरा ये मरा है B के खींचने से. A will say C died because of the pulling by B. B will say C died because pulling of A. So both will say at the most you can punish me only for the attempt to murder and not for murder. Both A and B can say that they are not liable for murder. They can then at most be held liable for attempt to murder and not for murder. Both will say if she died but for the act of other. In such, to deal with such situations, section 34 becomes helpful, and then for that purpose section 34 is drafted. तो समझे आपने? तो सेक्शन 34 की जरूरत कहां पड़ेगी? जहां पर जो एक्यूज पर्सन हैं, दे आर मोर देन वन एंड इट इज डिफिकल्ट टू डिस्टिंग्विश देयर रोल्स. आई होप दिस इज यू गॉट इट. प्लीज रेज हैंड अगर ये बात समझ में आ गई है तो. नाउ अगेन वी कम टू दी सेक्शन 34, what it is. So please go to the again direct language of section 34. What it is? When a criminal act is done by several persons in furtherance of common intention of all. You first try to understand this only. This. When a criminal act is done by several persons, and what do you mean by this? More than one. And you will get the first question of your prelims from this. Ki for the application of 34, how many persons should be there? At least. Minimum number of persons is what? Then 2. Minimum number of persons क्या हो गया? At least there should be 2 persons for the application of 34. And यहीं से क्वेश्चन आया था बन करके. कैसे? थोड़ा कॉम्प्लिकेट करूं अगर मैं, कि if I complicate it like this, which out of the following statements is correct or are correct? है ना? Number 1, for the application of section 34, minimum number of accused is 2, and for the 149 it is 5. For 149 it is 2, and for 35 it is 5. So 2 5 को they can mix in such a way that you get confused. So please remember what is the phrase here. The criminal act is done by several persons, and it means what? More than one. एक से अधिक का मतलब हुआ. कैसे कर रहे हैं ये? The act is being done in the furtherance of their common intention. अब तो कर लेंगे याद, रिपीट हो गए काफी है. Now आगे क्या है? Then what will be the consequence? Then each of such persons is liable in the same manner as if it were done by him alone. जैसे कि उसने अकेले ने किया हो. जैसे फॉर एग्जाम्पल For example, see, suppose there are three accused persons, and they decide to kill Jed. Okay, one holds the hand of the Jed, one holds the legs of the Jed, and one strangulate him. समझ रहे हैं आप? तीन लोग हैं जो जेड को मारना चाहते हैं, एक ने उसके हाथ पकड़े, एक ने उसके पैर पकड़े और एक ने उसका गला दबा दिया. Three accused persons doing diverse act. One is holding hands, one is holding legs, and other is strangulating him. Now all the accused persons are arrested because the Jed died. Now what the A is saying, who holded only hands, he is saying, I did what I did. मैंने किया क्या है? I just holded his hands. At the most you can punish me for the wrongful confinement. I did not allow him to move. It is the case of wrongful confinement. One who holded the legs, जिसने legs को पकड़ा था, उसने भी यही कहा कि at the most you can punish me for the wrongful confinement. मारा तो इसने था जिसने गला घोटा था. तो the only person, the third person who strangulated him should be punished for committing murder. But if we apply section 34, the person who holded hands, the person who holded legs, now each of such persons, means out of three persons, everyone, each of such three persons is liable in the same manner as if it were done by him alone. It means the person who holded hands only will be treated by the law under section 34 as if he strangulated him. The person who holded the legs will be treated as if he killed him, he strangulated him. Every person will be liable for the commission of murder. They can't say कि our part was only this, we were only holding hands, we were only participating. Even then, one person who is standing just for guard, he will be punished for the commission of murder. जो व्यक्ति बाहर भी खड़ा है, अब इसको समझने के लिए आपको just for this purpose कि each of such persons is liable in the same manner as if it were done by him alone, please go to case law Barinder Kumar Ghosh. Very very important case, Barinder Kumar Ghosh. What it mean? Barinder Kumar Ghosh versus Emperor. Please learn by heart. Facts are very important, decision is very important. Every time it is asked in your, and this question is asked in by name, Barinder, which out of following cases is related to section 34? Barinder Kumar Ghosh. See the facts. आपको नोट्स में मिल रहे हैं आपको? Please see this. In Barinder Kumar Ghosh versus Emperor, the appellant was charged under section 302, read with section 34. And please try to understand this line. Under section 302, read with section 34. कौन सा चार्ज लगा उस पर? मर्डर का. पनिशमेंट फॉर मर्डर रेड विद सेक्शन 34. सी सेक्शन 34 इज नॉट एन ऑफेंस इन इटसेल्फ. सेक्शन 34 अपने आप में कोई स्पेसिफिक ऑफेंस नहीं है, वो केवल जॉइंट लायबिलिटी कंस्ट्रक्ट करता है, कंस्ट्रक्टिव लायबिलिटी की बात करता है, वाइकरस लायबिलिटी की बात करता है. तो ही व्हाट इज द चार्ज ओवर दिस बरिंदर कुमार घोष? सेक्शन 302 रेड विद सेक्शन 34. इट मींस व्हाट कि he killed someone along with other persons. It means section 34 apply हो रहा है. It means what? There were several persons. Murder was committed by doing some act by several persons. यहां तक समझ में आ गया? किसका मर्डर किया? With the murder of sub postmaster. Now what are the facts? On 3rd August 1923, sub postmaster of Sankri Tola post office was counting money in the back room. The victim was what doing? He was counting money in the back room. And this is my trick. How to remember the facts of the case? कैसे याद रखना चाहिए इन केसेस को? उसकी ट्रिक समझ लीजिए. इन केसेस को आपको विजुलाइज करना चाहिए. Now this is counting money in the back room. Now visualize that someone is counting money in some room. तो उससे क्या होगा? आपको याद करना आसान हो जाएगा. ऐसा ही रटोगे रटेगा नहीं है, इसको विजुलाइज कीजिए इसको कि भाई एक इंसान कहीं वो पैसे गिन रहा है. समझ रहे हैं आप? तो ऐसे अगर क्लिप बनाएंगे, छोटी छोटी वीडियो क्लिप बनाएंगे, 15 सेकंड की वीडियो क्लिप, and remember it like that only. See, आगे क्या हुआ? This is several persons appeared at the door which opened the room from the courtyard of the office. They demanded the sub postmaster to give up the money and immediately afterwards fired pistols at him. सही है, कुछ लोग आए और उन्होंने पैसे की डिमांड की और तुरंत के तुरंत उस पर गोली चला दी. सब पोस्टमास्टर was shot and then the sub postmaster died almost immediately. वहीं के वहीं उसकी मृत्यु हो गई. Now see what is the role of this accused, Barinder Kumar Ghosh. The assailant fled in different directions without taking the money. मार करके बिना पैसे लिए भाग गए. देखो मूर्ख, जिस काम के लिए आए तो वो काम भी भूल गए अब, है ना. The assailants fled in different directions without taking the money, but one of them, Barinder Kumar Ghosh, was chased by the post office assistants. Although he fired several rounds with his pistol, but was caught with a pistol in his hands. So out of several persons, who was caught? Barinder Kumar Ghosh. समझ में आ गई बात आपको? बरिंदर कुमार घोष साहब पकड़े गए. इन पर मुकदमा चल रहा है 302 रेड विद सेक्शन 34. केस के फैक्ट्स क्या हैं? कुछ लोग आए, लूटने के लिए आए, पैसे की डिमांड की, पैसा डिमांड जो रस्सा कसी हुई होगी, तुरंत उन्होंने पिस्तौल दाग दी सब पोस्टमास्टर पे, जो कि तुरंत वहीं के वहीं मर गया. और वो लोग विभिन्न दिशाओं में भाग गए. पकड़ा कौन गया? बरिंदर कुमार घोष. अब इसके आर्ग्यूमेंट्स क्या है वो समझ लीजिए. द पिस्टल वॉज प्रोड्यूस्ड एट द ट्रायल. बरिंदर कुमार घोष वॉज प्रोसिक्यूटेड, ट्राइड, कमिटिंग दिस एंड देन अपीलेंट का कंटेंशन क्या था? He was standing outside and had not fired at the sub postmaster. This is the main contention of the accused Barinder Kumar Ghosh या appellant Barinder Kumar Ghosh. Why? कि उसने क्या कहा कि मैंने फायर नहीं किया इस पर, जिसने गोली चलाई वो तो पकड़ा ही नहीं गया, मैंने इस पर गोली नहीं चलाई. समझ रहे हैं आप बात? एंड उसने और क्या कहा? He was standing outside, कि वो तो उस रूम में गया ही नहीं जहां पर ये वाक्य हुआ है. I was standing outside where I did not fire upon him and this is why. So I should not be prosecuted for this murder. समझ आ गई बात ये? Now, what is the decision of Privy Council? Even if the appellant did nothing, भले ही appellant ने कुछ ना किया हो, as he stood outside the door, ये बात मान ली कि आप बाहर ही खड़े थे, आपने कुछ नहीं किया था. It is to be remembered, ये याद रखा जाना चाहिए, that in crimes as in other things, कि अपराधों में जैसा कि अन्य जगह भी होता है, they also serve, वो भी एक सर्विस करते हैं, वो भी सर्व करते हैं, who only stand and wait, जो केवल खड़े रहते हैं और इंतजार करते हैं. तो ये जो लाइन है, this line is very important. They also serve who only stand and wait. In which case this line was pronounced by the Privy Council ने की थी. कौन सा केस? बरिंदर कुमार घोष versus Emperor. And several times this line has been asked. You will surprise, you will see the line in which case this line was pronounced. कि they also serve who only stand. वो भी कुछ काम कर रहे हैं जो केवल खड़े हैं और इंतजार कर रहे हैं. तो this is what? तो what is the moral? What is the प्रिंसिपल डिड्यूस फ्रॉम दिस? सिद्धांत क्या निकला इसमें निकल करके? सिद्धांत ये निकला कि बेसिकली व्हाट वाज द रिक्वायरमेंट ऑफ सेक्शन 34. सेक्शन 34 की रिक्वायरमेंट क्या थी? देयर मस्ट बी सेवरल पर्सन्स. इन दिस केस क्रिमिनल एक्ट वाज डन बाय सेवरल पर्सन्स. हाँ है ना? सेवरल पर्सन्स ने किया था, एक बात. दूसरी बात, इट वाज डन इन द फर्दरेंस ऑफ द कॉमन इंटेंशन ऑफ ऑल. तीसरी बात कि पार्टिसिपेशन इज इंपॉर्टेंट हेयर. बरिंदर कुमार घोष participated in the crime because if you are standing outside, now go to the section 34 language. What is this? When a criminal act is done by several persons, as in case of Barinder Kumar Ghosh, है ना, in furtherance of common intention of all, तब क्या होगा? In that case, each of such persons means including Barinder Kumar Ghosh is liable in the same manner as if it were done by him alone. Barinder Kumar Ghosh will be treated as if he killed alone. That's a postmaster. Are you getting this point? Please raise hand अगर बात समझ में आ गई तो. Very very leading case बरिंदर कुमार घोष. कर लेंगे आप लोग. So this is now. Please see this again, the language of this, because each and every phrase is very important. So we have seen when a criminal act is done by several persons in furtherance of common intention, each of such person is liable for that act in the same manner as if it were done by him alone. तो ये हम लोग समझ चुके हैं. We have understood this as if it were done by him alone. Barinder Kumar Ghosh was treated as if he did that act alone. Now come to what is this that act. Try to understand that act. ये जो फ्रेज है, each of such persons is liable for that act. Which act? Criminal act. Are you getting this point? This is very important phrase. Try to understand this. When a criminal act is done by several persons, each of such persons is liable for that act. So what do you mean for that act? That act should be understood with the vis-a-vis this criminal act, joint unity of that act. Criminal act, see, within a criminal act, there may be several acts done, series of acts may be done. Jaise, in this case of, you try to understand, in case of Barinder Kumar Ghosh, someone opened the gate, few people entered into this, someone demanded the money, someone fired. So they are doing different acts in this case. आप समझ रहे हैं? If we take the case of Barinder Kumar Ghosh, there are several persons who are doing something, है ना? Then here criminal act means unity of that act. Aggregate of that act was what? Attempt to rob and commission of murder. Are you going to or not? So right now this is not for that act का मतलब ये नहीं कि what was that act done by alone individually. No, this is dealing with the criminal act means unity of the acts committed by all the accused persons. जिन सभी का जो समुच्चय है हिंदी में कहा जाए तो, है ना, एग्रीगेट जो है, what was that? That was the criminal act. So this for that act should be linked or read with the term criminal act. समझ रहे हैं आप लोग? प्लीज रेज हैंड अगर बात समझ में आ गई तो आपको. So he will be liable for this, for that act. That act means in case of Barinder Kumar Ghosh, murder. Each of such persons is liable for that act, that is murder, in the same manner as if it were done by him alone. तो मेरी कोशिश ये है कि आपके मन मस्तिष्क में कॉन्सेप्ट को डाल दिया जाए ताकि आप घर जाकर भूलना भी चाहें अगर तो ऐसा ना हो पाए आपसे. सो बस एक बार देख लीजिए. ईच ऑफ सच पर्सन इज लाइबल फॉर दैट एक्ट इन द सेम मैनर एज इफ इट वर डन बाय हिम अलोन. समझ में आ गया आप लोगों को? बाय यूज इट बाय सेवरल पर्सन मीन्स more than one person, it means minimum 2 persons. These are the question for claims. And then comes the phrase in furtherance of common intention. So this is what, there are two words now, in furtherance of common intention. There are two words. First is what? Common intention. So we should try to understand the meaning of common intention, and then we should try to importance of the word in furtherance of common intention. So two words must be understood one by one. What do we mean by the common intention? Common intention is called in Hindi सामान्य आशय, सामान्य आशय. And one important fact is there, please इसको लोड कर लीजिए. It may be pointed out that the phrase this in furtherance of the common intention, है ना, did not exist in original code. It was added by Amending Act of 1870. This question several times is asked कि कौन से amendment से जोड़ा गया था. कौन सा phrase? In the furtherance of the common intention of all. This phrase was added by Amending Act 1870.